lovely to see you. I'm really delighted to be here. So, some of you know me, some of you don't. My name's Jen. I'm an international empowerment coach, firewalking facilitator, shamanic and Reiki master teacher, and also a Tantra facilitator. So, I did the Green Tara training in February with Evolved Beings, which was just the most, yeah, with Lise as well, which was the most wonderful, life changing experience. I'd recommend it to anyone. So much personal transformation, so much learning, so many wonderful new practices. And oh, the Ramia's here as well. Hi, Ramia. She was with us too. And yeah, just really helped me to feel so much more confident as a practitioner. It was really lovely. Hi, Ramia. So lovely to see you. So the format of this circle tonight is going to be following my Celtic traditions and my own spiritual practice, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the way that I work. But the first thing I'd love to do is to open our circle. So those of you that have done some work with me before will be familiar with this. But this is a way of us creating a sacred container for us to do our work in. So I'm going to call in the elements and directions in the Celtic tradition that I work with to create this beautiful sacred container for us to do this work. So if you happen to know where the sun rises, where you live, I'd invite you to turn and face the east. Now I'm gonna keep my face towards the camera, otherwise you can't hear me. But we're gonna face the east. We're gonna welcome in the east, and after I'm gonna say hail and welcome, and I invite you to say hail and welcome as well. So, giving a little rattle, we call upon the ancient spirits of the east and the element of air, with the essence of butterfly and eagle and all those that fly. This is where the sun rises and the dawn breaks. We thank you for bringing your powers of clarity and communication and insight. Hail and welcome. And then we're turning to the south. So we're turning 90 degrees to the south. And we call upon the ancient spirits of the south and the element of fire, which we're really working with today, with the essence of lion and dragon and all those of fang and claw. This is where the sun rises high in the midday sky. Thank you for bringing your powers of courage and passion and determination. Hail and welcome. And then we're turning again towards the west. So we call upon the ancient spirits of the west and the element of water, with the essence of whale and otter and salmon and all those that swim. This is where the sun sets and our ancestors dwell. Thank you for bringing your powers of compassion and healing and dreaming to our circle. Hail and welcome. And then turning around to the north, we call upon the ancient spirits of the north and the element of earth, with the essence of wolf and stag and bear and all those of horn and hoof, fur and paw. Thank you for bringing your powers of strength and groundedness and rebirth and manifestation. Hail and welcome. And then we can either put our hands towards Mother Earth below, or we can see if we can touch the ground with our hands. And we're just giving gratitude and welcome to Mother Earth below, Pachamama, she who nourishes and sustains us. Hail and welcome. And then raising our hands up to the sky, to Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, and to the star nations. We welcome you. Hail and welcome. And then finally, placing our hands on our heart, to our own little self, to center here, to our soul within our bodies, welcoming us to this space. Hail and welcome to ourselves. So thank you so much for joining today. This is a really special day. This is super special. Oh, if people could just put themselves on mute, that would be really lovely, just so we don't get any disturbance. Okay, there we go. Hopefully we've got the sound sorted now. So if everyone can just check that they're on mute, that would be really lovely. What a special day. But first of all, I just want to talk about how this circle is going to work. So we've opened our circle. We're going to talk a little bit about why this is such an epic day. And then we're going to drop into doing a meditation and a shamanic journey, and we're going to have some reflection at the end. So this day is really a really powerful and significant space that is going to be has the potential to be so life-changing for us. And the wonderful thing is that we're consciously aware of it, and we're able to work with the energy to essentially create a new future for ourselves. Before we dive into all of this, I just want to talk about safety within this circle. So you are at choice the whole way through here. So you can take part in this, or you can just listen. It's entirely up to you. If at any point anything feels a little bit too much, you're very welcome to step away. If you feel that you're getting a little bit wobbly or a bit floaty, it can be helpful to ground yourself. And one of the ways that we can do that is to just feel the weight of our body resting against the ground. So I just invite you to do that now. Just feel the pressure of your body against the ground, perhaps feeling the weight of the soles of the feet against the floor, the buttocks against the chair, and just know you can come back to this support of Mother Earth below. It can also be helpful to take a sip of water if you're feeling a little bit ungrounded. And of course, if we're during a meditation and it all feels a bit much, you can always open your eyes as well. So I was so lucky to do the Green Tara training, not only because of the wonderful people that were on the course, two of which are here today, and it really significantly changed the way that I looked at the world. So my work has been in women's empowerment work for a lot of years, and a lot of that has been around very fiery energy. So I'm a fire walking facilitator. I help women to really step into their personal power and their authenticity to be the women they were always meant to be. And I'd been exploring Tantra for quite a few years, but what the Green Tara training did for me really was to kind of bring it into something I could really work with, to embed the practices. So I felt so confident in them and could be able to teach them. And actually I've woven them into all aspects of my work now. I run retreats, I run one-to-one coaching, empowerment programs. So it's been the most wonderful experience. And my roots are very much in the shamanic tradition, and actually Tantra is very beautifully aligned with the shamanic traditions as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But I know you are all across the world, in various parts of Europe, in India, in Australia, so it's so wonderful to have such an international gathering. I'm in the north of England today, so I live in the Lake District, although I do travel a lot and float about the world, but today I'm in the Lake District, very much rooted in my place, and I hope to transfer some of that energy to you as well. So let's talk about why this is such a special day. So this morning, all of the significant planets aligned. I didn't get up early enough to watch them, unfortunately, but they were all in alignment this morning. And today's the end of the Lionsgate portal. So I don't know if anybody's really been exploring the Lionsgate portal energies. I had an amazing activation on the 8th of the 8th, which was really beautiful. So this is the time where Sirius is in alignment, and this is a time of real manifestation and fertility. So what we're doing today is catching the very end of that, and we get to just make the most of it, really. Then, of course, it's the solar eclipse today. So I don't know what time it is in the rest of the world, but today in where I am, it's 6 minutes past 7, which means the 6 minutes past 7, the sun is going to be obscured by the moon, and we get 90% here in the UK, which is really exciting because it hasn't happened since 1999. So I'm going to be outside with my kids watching that. And of course, it's the new moon, and a new moon is all about new beginnings. So I work with the moon cycle a lot. It's part of my personal practice, and I'm just going to share a little bit about how this works in general. So the new moon is new beginnings. It's where the moon is at her lowest in energy. And so during this time, this is a time for planting seeds. It's not a time for action. It's a time for deep reflection and setting intentions. And then as the moon waxes and gets bigger and rises in energy, this is where we can then begin to put our efforts into creating what it is we want to manifest, or we're so open to the universe to bring in what it is we desire. We just kind of open ourselves up to all the possibilities. And then the moon reaches fullness, and so she's full for about 3 days. And this is a time where the moon helps to illuminate all those things that no longer serve us. So the full moon is a time of celebration of what we've created, but it's also a time of recognizing what it is we need to let go of. And then as the moon wanes and gets smaller and dissipates in energy, this is where we focus on shedding and letting go of all the things that no longer serve us. So when we come back to the new moon, we have a clean slate. We're ready to go. And what's beautiful is when we follow the moon cycles with purpose and intention, what we can find is that we might begin here and we complete a moon cycle, and then the next moon cycle we feel like, oh, we're here, and then we go again, and then we feel like we're here, and then we feel like we're here, and our life just keeps getting better and better. So I recommend it as a personal practice. But one of the things that the moon teaches us is that we can't shine brightly all the time. So our society, my society in particular here, I used to be in the army, I used to be in the civil service, I used to be on the go all the time, all the time. And what I found is that I was on the go. There was no let up. I was just on the go all the time. So what the moon helps us to do is to create this cyclicality in our lives. It helps us to follow cycles. She shows us that we can't shine brightly all the time. She's only bright for 3 days, right? Her peak is for 3 days, and then she's growing, and then she's releasing, and then she takes a sacred pause. So this eclipse really is a sacred pause, but it's a really powerful portal, a really karmic portal, because eclipses aren't just about change. They're about deep karmic change. They're about stepping into our soul alignment and stepping fully into our authenticity. And because this is a Leo full moon and a fire sign, this really helps us to jump into that fiery energy, those things that really light us up, that make us juicy, the things that bring us joy. And so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to be tapping into the energy of the lioness or the lion, and really feeling into how can we bring all of that fieriness, that confidence, that sovereignty and abundance into our lives. Okay, so when we come to the energy of the lioness or the lion, there are so many different ways that we can work with her energy, and what we're going to do within this circle is to really almost become the lioness. So I would love to ask you, what does the energy of the lion or the lioness mean to you? So in the shamanic traditions, every animal has its different medicine, and the medicine of the animal will be different to each person. So the medicine of the lion to me might be very different to the medicine of the lion to you. So I'd love you to type in the chat, what does the lion or the lioness mean to you? If you could condense it into a few words. Okay, so we've got leadership, yeah. Courage, passion, confidence, and family, yes. Power, love, absolutely. Fiercely protective, yes. Fierce and caring. Yeah, absolutely. We've got some more coming. Attitude, yes. Hunter, sensual power, yes. Absolutely. I love it. I love it, love it. So, any more? Oh, teamwork. Yes, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about courage, we've talked about power. I'm going to add one, which is sovereignty. The lioness is sovereign to herself. I keep seeing these little videos on Instagram and Facebook where there's a male lion, but actually it's the female that's the boss. He's like lying down there snoring and she whacks him around the face or something really crazy like that. So it's so interesting how in the pride society of the lions, that the feminine is often the one who, well, she is the one who does all of the providing and all of the caring, and also all of the she holds a lot of the power as well. So I think that's really important. And when we're thinking about the energy of the Leo new moon, we talk about this being new beginnings, um, new ways of being. And when we feel into the real qualities of Leo, somebody mentioned love. So the heart is a really important element of this. Themes of love and generosity and kind of living from the heart space rather than living from the head. But one of the most important things that I really feel this Leo energy is having the courage to be ourselves, being brave enough to be our authentic self. And I know that this is something in the past that I haven't been brave enough to be until now. I haven't been brave enough to take up space. I haven't been brave enough to be who I truly am. I mentioned before that I was in the army and I was in the civil service, and I was in a space where I was ruled by so many different structures, and I was pretty much hiding behind my rank or my job title, and it felt a very comfortable place to be. And then when I started working for myself, I had to put myself out there, and that was really scary. I had to really tap into my inner fire, tap into my inner courage to be my authentic self. And it's taken a little while to grow. It doesn't happen overnight, but gradually, I began to feel more confident to take up space being who I am. So I feel like I was really able to embody the lioness. And actually, a lot of that was due to the shamanic work that I was doing about really bringing in the energy that I wanted to bring in. So if we think about our authenticity, who here is really living their authentic life? Perhaps you can either raise your hand or just do a little emoji on the expressions. Just curious to know who feels. Jez is brilliant. Yeah, I think Kathy is. I know Kathy so well, yes. But even now, I find myself getting scared of being my true self. I feel a little bit scared still sometimes that I'm too much. In fact, I have this fear of that I'm too much, and also at the same time that I'm not enough. So it's a really interesting juxtaposition. But my question to you is, where are you not being in your authentic self? Where is there a space where you find yourself shrinking or playing small or hiding or not being able to speak your truth? So I'm just going to invite you to have a little bit of personal reflection about that. Where is it that I'm not being my true self? Where is it that I'm not really allowing everybody to see who I am because I'm afraid in some way? Got here honesty and integrity. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. That was for the lion. If you can pop it in the chat, or really just maybe take an opportunity to have a little bit of personal reflection. And if you experience this, so the way that I experience this is often it comes in waves. And sometimes I can be, totally badass and be shining my authentic self. And then some days I have days where I just want to hide and I don't want to be present with the world. And I just want to reassure you that is completely normal. We can't, like the moon tells us, we can't be on go and on fire all the time. We need to have these periods of rest and withdrawal so we can recharge and then come back again. Nicola feels quite lost at the moment, not sure who I am. Thank you for sharing that, Nicola. It's really hard when we're in that space. And sometimes it takes a little bit of inner reflection to figure out, who we are and what we want to do. Stacey apologizing all the time. Yeah. Yeah. So when it comes to what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into our meditation, which is all about, sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. So I have ADHD and my brain is pigging all over the place here because I'm excited about reading the chat and also trying to be really pleasant. So I'm just going to focus on the chat for a minute, then I'm going to come back. Kathy's saying, yeah, in Australia have their friends but not your tribe, feeling insecure. Somebody needs to be let in, Ritumbra, if that's okay. Okay. All right, so we'll just wait a minute to make sure everybody's rejoined. Mm. Okay, so I mentioned that my practice is very much based on the shamanic traditions, and one of the powerful practices that I use a lot is shape shifting. So, if anybody's, some people may be familiar with this, to some people it might be new, but this is where we can really bring in the energy of either a power animal, a spirit animal, or anything that we want to embody the energy of. We can literally step into that energy and bring it into our own being. So, what we're going to do is a little meditation where we really feel into the energy of the lion or the lioness. Now, just want to bring in the masculine and the feminine here. Well, some people prefer to use the yin and the yang, or the Shiva and the Shakti, or the left brain and the right brain. But this is acknowledging that we have all of these elements within us. So even though we might be in female bodies, we still have an element of the masculine. And so I know that I have very much been in the masculine for a lot of years, when I was in the army, when I was working for the civil service, and and yet I can drop into my feminine as well. You know, there needs to be a flow and a balance, and sometimes we can become so out of alignment. And if we look at the world in general here, the world is out of alignment, out of balance with the masculine and the feminine. So this is an opportunity for you to feel into this however works for you. It might be that you want to or need to connect with your inner feminine, in which case you might be connecting with the lioness. Or actually, it might be that you really feel like you need to bring in some of the masculine qualities and you might want to bring in the lion. So it's entirely up to you. And this is this is your journey and your experience. So I invite you to just allow whatever happens to allow, to whatever comes through for you, to trust that it is exactly as it's meant to be. So the way this is going to work is we're going to do a journey to the drum. And if you haven't done a shamanic journey before, I'm going to begin with a bit of a guided visualization to the beat of the drum. So it's going to sound very much like this. I'm going to be talking at the same time that we're drumming. And then I'm going to get you to a point where I'm going to leave you to listen to the beat of the drum at this pace. I'm just going to give you an example. So the speed of the cadence of the drum is going to speed up. And what this can do is it helps to shift our brain state, it helps us to be more open to visualization or feelings, more open to connecting to the spirit world. And we might all experience this in a different way. So sometimes we might just do what's called ride the beat of the drum. We might just listen to the beat of the drum, and that's enough for us. We might find, if we're a visual person, that we get images, we get maybe like almost in a dream state, and that might be our experience. It might be that we have much more of a felt sense, and perhaps we get more of a feeling sense than a visual sense. Or it might just be a sense of knowing. So you might not see or feel anything, but you just might have this knowing within. And all of those are valid. And the great thing about this is you can't get it wrong. You just have to be open to your experience. What I would invite you to do is find somewhere comfortable where you can either lie down, or you can sit, or you can just focus and allow your body to relax. Because when our body can relax, our mind can relax as well. So I'm just going to give you a moment to do that. Okay, how are we all doing? So let's just check. You can have your cameras off or cameras on. It's entirely up to you. It's finding your space, and if it feels comfortable for you, closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. Just taking a moment to center yourself. Feel into your connection with the ground below, those points of contact with Mother Earth. taking a few deep breaths. Filling the lungs all the way down to the belly, and nice long exhale. Inviting you to do that again. Deep breath in and a nice long exhale. And as we release the breath, seeing if we can release any tension in the body, any tightness that we're holding on to, allowing the body to melt into the surface below. One more deep breath in and a long breath out. So I invite you to imagine that you're standing outside at a place in nature where you can see the sunshine. And as you look towards the sun, you notice that it's being covered gradually by the moon. And she gradually moves further and further across the sun. Until it looks like a beautiful ring of fire. And the space goes into darkness and stillness as the light diminishes. And in that darkness, that dimness of light, you sense next to you the presence of the lion energy, or the lioness. They're here with an energy of complete compassion and love and wisdom for you. They're here to help you lean into your authenticity, to ignite your inner fire. They're here to give you the wisdom to know what you need to do at this special eclipse portal. What it is you need to leave behind, and what it is you need to step into. They're here to help you take up space, to step into sovereignty, to be the woman you are meant to be, to grow your roar, and as we go into our drum journey, which will be about 10 minutes long, I invite you to connect with this lion or lioness, asking what wisdom you need in this moment, at this pivotal point. What's the perfect energy for you today to create huge karmic change for yourself? So connecting, perhaps once more if you've left them, to your lioness or your lion. And just checking in with what wisdom are you bringing back from them? Perhaps they've given you something directly, a message or a feeling. Or perhaps you just know in your heart what quality of the lion or lioness you want to bring back with you. How can you step even more into your authenticity? How can you ignite your inner passion? Where do you need to be more courageous? How can you embody the Leo energy? So standing next to your lion or lioness, this is your opportunity to embody their qualities by choosing, or not, to step into the body of the lioness, becoming her. So seeing if you can visualize or feel stepping into her energy. And noticing what happens. How do you feel in your body? Has your posture changed at all? How do you feel emotionally? Is there any clarity in your mind? And we have the joy of bringing back her energy into this realm so she can stay with us and help to light our path and light our way. And we started where the moon was covering the sun. Their beautiful ring of fire was present. And looking back up at the sun now, the moon is passing over and the day is getting brighter once more. And this symbolizes you stepping into your new future, stepping into that space of courage and self-sovereignty and abundance and growth. So bringing all that back with you into this realm. And I invite you to imagine now that lioness energy coming back into the space you're in now. So bringing your awareness back to the weight of the body against the ground. Perhaps feeling the air against your skin. Feeling the breath coming in and out of the body. Coming back to center in this space. Now we haven't finished our meditation yet. I invite you to still be in stillness, because I'm going to invite you to bring the energy of the lioness or the lion into your heart space. Because the Leo lion energy is all about courage. It's all about fierce compassion. And it's about shining your light across the world. So imagining that this lion heart energy is within your heart space now. And there's a lovely Buddhist practice called heart like the sunshine. So imagining that your heart is like the sunshine, beaming out radiance and love and compassion and kindness across the world. Imagining that each of the rays of sun where you are touching the sisters across the world, bringing hope and compassion and love and kindness to all the women across the world. Knowing that everybody has the capacity to stand in their authenticity, to stand in their sovereignty and personal power. And we can together rise up together. We can encourage each other, celebrate each other, help each other to rise, to help us create a wonderful and balanced humanity. So, taking a moment to give yourself some gratitude, you might want to give yourself a hug, a squeeze. Another way of bringing ourselves back into this realm, another way of feeling grounded. Taking a deep breath, and whenever you're ready, you might want to have a little bit of a stretch, get a bit of movement going, and then coming back to this space. Now, if you have a journal, you might want to jot some things down, but I would love you to share in the chat. What wisdom did the lioness give to you, bring to you into this realm? How do you feel now in your body? And what is it that you might be stepping into to allow yourself to truly be in your authenticity? So anything you would like to share in the chat, that would be most wonderful. Feeling grounded, that's fabulous. Anything else anybody's feeling? Sometimes you can feel a little bit spaced out after doing a little journey. So maybe feel that into that groundedness. Feeling more at ease and some clarity. Accept my inner knowing. Move with purpose with the right teachers. Yes. Feeling empowered. Wonderful. And I'm curious to know, how did it feel to shapeshift into the lioness? And if anybody would like to unmute themselves and speak, that would be wonderful too. Take action and speak up, feeling confidence and balance now. That's wonderful.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, so when I did the shape shifting, it felt very real. I weren't expecting that. I literally felt like I was the lion. It was a very like bizarre feeling. I could really feel that bit.
Yeah, thank you. And so how did that make you feel, Nicola? What did you notice in your body?
Like I did feel a strength, like an inner strength, and like a bit of clarity. Like when I come round for it, then and you were saying, "How do you feel?" I felt like, oh, I feel a bit more at ease. Like not to worry that I don't know what I want to do in my career and things right now. Like it will just come, like more clarity about things.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you. Anybody else like to share?
Yeah, Jen, I was first walking very powerfully as a lioness, and then suddenly I turned into kind of lion cubs, the babies, very playful and curious.
Oh, that sounds beautiful, Lise.
Yeah,
So much more playfulness
yeah,
and joyfulness, yes?
curiosity.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you.
I had a lion and a lioness, and we went for a walk through the land. And then at the end, when you said, I forgot what you said now, but
To shift into it?
yes, then it was the lioness, and I found myself holding myself. Proud is the word that I would use, but sometimes pride is seen as a kind of, well, in certain circles it can be a negative thing, like but I felt very sort of held my head up, and that's where I got the moving more with purpose.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And do you know what? Isn't it interesting how we, especially as women, are discouraged to feel pride? We think, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna push that down a little bit. But actually, why the fuck not? Right? Why should we not feel proud of ourselves? I wonder if you can all think of one thing that you're proud of yourself right now and just totally celebrate that. Yeah? Can everybody think of something they're really proud of? Yeah? Even if it's like, this morning I got out of bed and I cleaned my teeth and I had a shower. You know, sometimes that can be something to be proud of. It doesn't have to be something amazing, but you know, there's always something that we can celebrate ourselves for, and it's so important to celebrate ourselves as well as our sisters. I talked at the end of the meditation about how we can shine our light, because the more that we give ourselves permission to take up space and to shine our light and to spread our love through the world, it gives everybody else permission to do the same. And then what we find is that this beautiful ripple effect occurs, that we have so much power and influence from working on ourselves. And I think this is a key thing here, especially in this work, is that we're often told that we're being selfish, or if we're spending time doing these things for ourselves. But actually, I like to shift that word and call it self-full, because we can't pour from an empty cup. And when we spend that time working on ourselves, doing work like this, we what's the word, we raise our energetic vibration, right? And then when we raise our energetic vibration, other people can't help but pick up on it. It's like when you smile, a smile is infectious, right? You smile at one person and they smile, and then they smile at another person, and it spreads out and out and out. So never underestimate how powerful you are. You are so powerful, you know, in terms of the connections you have, the influence you have on your friends, your families, your colleagues. And it can just be by doing this work on yourself. So celebrating for you and all of your wonderfulness. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to share? Yes, please. Rika, is that right?
Hello, I am very glad to see you and hear you. That is very mesmerizing for me. Listen, I want to ask that I used to follow the universe law and all that. I have books and I have one charter. So you can see in the behind of me that I have put in my room only. But I want to ask that how to align my thoughts actually. Sometimes I feel, sad, sometimes low, how to elevate that mindset and how to align my thoughts, because and I want to always be connected with you are so gentle and care, almighty bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. So, in answer
Yeah.
to your question, what I would say is that every thought is valid and every thought is welcome. And we can get very tied up in the things that we should or shouldn't be feeling or thinking. And if we think about this really from I guess from a tantric sense, it's about celebrating all parts of ourselves. So all of the parts that we might have a dark day, we might have a difficult day, and yet there's always a polarity. There's also the brightness. So every day we have a new dawn. Every day we wake up and have the opportunity to create something new. And so the way that I work with this is that if I'm in a bit of a rut, or if I'm feeling a little bit low and I can't seem to get out of a spiral of thoughts, I'll go looking for the little glimmers. And so these are the glimmers where I might see a beautiful flower, or I might have a really nice sip of tea in the morning, or I might see a beautiful sunset. And just those little things help to elevate my mood and help just to shift my thoughts. And if we think about this in the terms of neuroscience, every time we create more of a pattern of looking for the good things, we create stronger neural pathways. And so what it does is it helps us to really shift the way that we think, in terms of it helps us to we might start off thinking, oh, today's not a great day, but then oh look at the flower, oh look at that person smiling, and then that just helps to allow everything to be there at once. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to share you one my experience actually. Can
Yeah,
I share?
please. Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, yeah. Last 2 3 months ago, I was manifested that uh, I will uh, I will connect someone who's guiding me about universe and all that. And I see universe literally give me that opportunity. You are my dream. Dream came
Oh,
true.
thank
Yes.
you so much. It's really sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad, and
Yeah.
that you got so much from it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Stacey, love you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Stacey, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I was just when you were saying that about looking for the glimmers,
Mm.
about a month Well, actually, 34 days ago or something, I decided to do something like that. And so each morning I say, brain, show me the evidence that I am supported by the universe, or brain, show me the evidence that I choose myself today, or etc. And then every time I see something, little things, except, tiny little things or big things, I go, evidence. And then my brain starts looking more and more for them. And I started doing a thing on Facebook, 111 days of happiness and gratitude. And ever since, it's only been about 34 days ago, and people are like, you sound so happy and free. I mean, I have just been to a festival, but you like, I feel um I feel different. I feel grateful every single morning. So I just wanted to tag my experience of that onto what you said, because it's
Yeah,
working.
absolutely. Celebrating you, little love shower there. That's wonderful. In fact, if you want to look at the impacts of gratitude and kindness or kindfulness, there's a great book, I can't remember what it's called now, by David Hamilton. What is it? Anyway, Google David Hamilton and kindness. He's a Scottish dude that's written all about it. He makes some really good observations, as well as kindfulness makes you look younger. So that's definitely a good thing. I'm just going to check on the chat and see what I missed. Feeling empowered, take action and speak up, feeling confident and balanced, be strong with gentleness, big wide world, choose carefully, go explore. So, we're going to have a little bit of time to chat afterwards if anybody wants to stay on and ask some more questions. But I've just got a few things that I want to share with you, and then we get to close the circle again, because we open the circle, we always have to close the circle. So I would love to share with you what's going on with Evolved Beings. So let's see what we've got coming up. So, if anybody knows Shubi, who is the most gorgeous woman ever, she has got an online masterclass called Skeleton Woman coming up on the 13th of September. Oh, here we go. They're all going to be in the chat now. Then there's the Magnetic and Abundant Woman masterclass, which sounds very fun. I don't know who's leading that one. Maybe it's Mohini. And then there's the Kamatamushka retreat in Kahajuha. I can't say that. Kajuhara, is that right? In India, I'm guessing, in October. And then, of course, there's the Wonder Woman Festival, the 25th to 29th of
Hey
November.
Jen, I think I will step in to
Please
help
do,
you.
my love. Please do.
Hey sisters, hey all, this is Ritambra from Evolving. Some of you might have known me, the one who shares updates and messages regarding new moon sessions and basically back-end stuff with you all over groups. So just taking a moment of your time to share all our upcoming offerings. So just like this new moon session that happens every month, we have an amazing masterclass coming up, which is called the Skeleton Women, hosted by Shubi, who is also our Green Tara graduate, just like Jen. So all the links you will find in the chat box that I've shared. Then we also have the Magnetic and Abundant Women online masterclass by our founder Mohini. The link is there on the chat box. And we have a very unique retreat, which we are hosting for the very first time, which is called the Kama to Moksha retreat, happening in Khajuraho, which is the living testament for the lineage of Tantra in India. So it's happening from the 1st to 7th of October, a very deep, transformative 7-day Tantra retreat. The link is there in the chat box, which you can check. And then our signature Women Festival that happens year after year. This is our 7th edition. Some of you might have known the Wonder Woman Festival. It's happening from the 25th to 29th of November. So if any of you would love being like amidst like 100 to 150 sisters from across the globe, global facilitators, 40 plus workshops, do check that out. And yeah, we'd love to have you in any one of these upcoming offerings. Thank you, sisters. And over to you, Jen.
Thank you, lovely. Okay, so let's close our circle, and then I'm going to be around for any questions, anything anybody wants to chat about afterwards. Okay, so do you remember we welcomed ourselves, right? We welcomed ourselves here at the beginning. So we're going to reverse this process. So putting our hands on our heart, recognizing ourselves here and just giving ourselves a little bit of gratitude for showing up or for watching the replay, for connecting in with our lioness energy, and just knowing that we are a beautiful, powerful human being that can do so much good in this world. So we're not saying goodbye, we're saying welcome and stay here. Thank you very much. We're going to raise our hands up to Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, the Star Nations, and say thank you for holding us in this circle as we did this really special and powerful work. Thank you to the solar eclipse that is happening this evening, and we so look forward to working with the energy. Hail and farewell. We're then putting our hands down to Mother Earth, and so we're giving our deepest gratitude to Mother Earth for holding us in this space, for giving us the groundedness that we needed as we journey today. Hail and farewell. And then we turn to the north, if you can remember where the north is. So we're giving our gratitude to the ancient spirits of the north and the element of earth for holding us in this grounded space, for giving us these beautiful bodies in which we exist. Hail and farewell. We're turning to the west, thanking the element of water, the blood running through our veins, our ancestors, giving thanks for the compassion and the healing we may have received during this circle. Hail and farewell. We're then turning to the south, the element of fire, and we're giving our gratitude for bringing in this Leo energy, for this solar eclipse today, this really powerful portal, this powerful moment, and giving thanks for igniting that fire in our bellies, helping us to move forwards in life with passion and clarity. Hail and farewell. And to the spirits of the east and the element of air, thank you as always for bringing the winds of change, for creating these karmic moments for us to really bring ourselves into alignment, into soul alignment, and live our fullest lives. Hail and farewell. So our circle is open but never broken. Thank you so much for taking part with this. If you want to find out a little bit more about my work, you can find out about the coaching work that I do on jenmaxwell.com, and for any of the shamanic and the healing, energy healing work, that is through my other organisation, which is called Lakeland Wellbeing. So I've popped those in the chat for you. If anybody wants to say hi, very welcome to. And then I would love to just open it up if anybody has any questions or comments or anything they want to share.
Thank you, Jen. It was amazing to connect with all these wonderful women guided by you. So very thankful.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. It was so lovely to see you. Really lovely to see you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, ladies. That's my first time doing anything like that online, so I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Stacey, for inviting me as well, and Jen and the girls. It was lovely to meet you all.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you, Nicola. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. It was such a powerful, empowering session. Thank you so much for your energies. Thank you, everyone.
You're really welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Jen. Loved it.
Good. I'm really pleased. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Same. Thank you to everyone, all you wonderful women, and thank you, Jen.
Yeah. Thank you, Jez. It was really lovely to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you so much. It was lovely to join this circle. Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions or anything, I'm here. And if not, I wish you a wonderful solar eclipse on the rest of the day. And I hope you get to see it somewhere if you're in Northern Europe. Yeah.